This is the Ultimate Fantasy Premier League Beginner's Guide. Hi, my name is Lisa and welcome back to another video. So whether you're new to Fantasy Premier League or FPL for short, I've got you covered. In this video, I'll walk you through everything you need to know from picking your starting 11, choosing the right captain, and understanding how points are scored. Whether you're a complete beginner or just in need of a refresher, this is the guide for you. Let's get ready. So, Fantasy Premier League is a game where you manage a virtual team of Premier League players, earning points based on their real life performances. You pick a squad of 15 players and you set your starting 11 each week and you make transfers within a budget. You can start by going to the Fantasy Premier League website and registering. So you can go ahead and input your information and you should land on this page. Now you'll want to go to the top left-hand corner of the screen where it says Squad Selection and select that option. Here you'll be able to select your squad of 15 players and you have a budget of 100 million. You can select a player for your team by clicking on the position you'd like the player to play in and then select player. So it will give you all the options, whether it's a goalkeeper, defender, midfielder, or forward. So it'll give you all the available options and their different prices. Right. So for the team selection, you'll have again a budget of 100 million to assemble your 15-man squad. Your squad will include 2 goalkeepers, 5 defenders, 5 midfielders, and 3 forwards. The players have different values. These change during the season depending on the popularity of the player in the transfer market. So player prices do not change until the season starts. And the prices shown on your transfer page is the player's selling price. Your team is also limited to a maximum of 3 players from the same Premier League club. And your team can play in any formation, providing that you have 1 goalkeeper, at least 3 defenders, and at least 1 forward selected at all times. I have gone ahead and done an auto pick just to select the team so we can move on to the next step. Alright, so once you've selected your 15 players, just enter your squad and then we can move on. Transfers are made by replacing a player from your squad with a new player. After selecting your squad, you can buy and sell players in the transfer market. An unlimited amount of transfers can be made at no cost until the first deadline. In order to transfer a player out of your team, you're going to go back up to the top left-hand corner of the page and select transfers. And that will take you to the transfer page. Then you can select the X next to the player that you want to remove from your team. You can select a new player for your team by selecting the plus next to the player that you want to have in your team, or you can just select the player you removed and select replacement and you'll be given the options. And again, you just select the plus next to the player's name. After your first deadline, you will receive 1 free transfer each game week. Each additional transfer made in the same game week will deduct 4 points from your total score at the start of the next game week. If you do not use your free transfer, you're able to make an additional free transfer in the following game week. If you still do not use that free transfer, it will roll over until you do so. The maximum number of free transfer that can be stored in any game week is 5. At other times, you are limited to 20 transfers in a single game week, except when you're playing your wildcard or your free hit chip. More on that later. Substitutions are made when you make changes among your 15-man squad. So substitution is between members of your team, while transfers is bringing in new players for players that were in your team. Once you've selected your squad, players will be automatically placed on the bench, and if you're happy with that order, you can leave it, but if not, you can go ahead and make some substitutions and arrange your bench. In order to do this, you click the symbol next to the player's name, and the page will be highlighted with the players that you're able to switch between. So you're able to switch around the players on your bench, and the same goes for players in your starting 11. So you can switch players out to your bench, and you can switch players around on your bench. The bench, or the substitutes bench, is only used when one of your starting players doesn't feature in the game week. Automatic substitutions are processed at the end of the game week according to the order of your bench. So if your goalkeeper doesn't play, he will be substituted by your replacement goalkeeper if he plays in that game week. If any of your outfield players don't play in the game week, they will be substituted by the highest priority outfield substitute played in the game week that doesn't break the formation rules. So, for example, if your starting team has only 3 defenders, then a defender can only be replaced by another defender on your bench. So, just a few tips when selecting your bench order. So you want to prioritize fixtures. So you want to identify players with favorable upcoming fixtures, maybe easier opponents or home games. You also want to consider form and potential. So you want to look at players in good forms and those with high potential to score points. And you want to do strategic placements. So you want to place players with the best upcoming fixtures in the first substitute position on your bench to maximize their chances of playing and scoring points. And you also want to make sure you review and adjust your bench. So before the deadline, review your bench order based on the latest team news, injuries, and suspensions. All changes must be finalized 90 minutes before the first match in the game week. So that is your game week deadline, 90 minutes before the first match of the game week. Choosing your captain. So from your starting 11, you nominate a captain and a vice captain. Your captain score will be doubled. If your captain does not play in the game week, your captain will be changed to the vice captain. If both your captain and your vice captain does not play, then no player's score will be doubled. You can select your captain by choosing the player you want to give the armband to, and on the bottom left of the page, you'll see the option captain or vice captain, and you can choose either one. Always remember to click Save Changes to have this applied to your team. A few tips for when you're choosing your captain. So you want to look for players that are consistently delivering attacking returns, goals, and assists, for example. You also want to consider a player's historical performance and reliability, especially their points per game or their ability to score 200 plus points in a season. You also want to prioritize players facing weaker opponents or teams with poor defensive records, and you also want to consider home advantage. Some players perform better while they're at their home stadium. How to earn points. So each player earns 1 point if they play at least 1 minute in a game week, and they'll earn an additional point if they play 60 minutes in that game week. Players also earn points for scoring goals, assists, keeping clean sheets, and other positive actions shown on screen. Points can be deducted for yellow cards, red cards, conceding goals by defenders and goalkeepers, own goals, and missed penalties. Players also receive bonus points. The 3 best performing players in each match will be awarded bonus points. 3 points will be awarded to the highest scoring player, 2 to the second best player, and 1 to the third. You can also earn points for defensive contributions. I will link a video below with more details. Chips. So, chips can be used to potentially enhance your team's performance during the game week. Only 1 chip can be played in a single game week. And throughout the season, you have 4 chips available. You have the wild card, free hit, bench boost, and triple captain. And each chip can be played twice this season. So 1 set during game week 1 to game week 19, and then another set from game week 20 to game week 38. So the bench boost. The points scored by your bench in the game week is included in your total score. I also have a video showing you my first draft of the bench boost team for game week 1. Free hit. You're able to make unlimited free transfers in a single game week. At the next deadline, your squad is returned to how it was at the start of the game week. Triple captain. Your captain's points are tripled instead of doubled for that game week. Wild card. All transfers, including those already made in the game week, are free of charge. So for game week 1, you only have 2 chips available. You have the bench boost and the triple captain. You can play your chip by selecting the one you'd like to play, and a pop-up will appear, and just select play chip. Either chips can be cancelled at any time before the game week deadline, and again, the deadline is 90 minutes before the first match in the game week. Please note that the free hit chip cannot be played in consecutive game weeks. So if the first chip is played in game week 19, your second free hit cannot be made active until game week 21. You can find the fixtures for the week by scrolling down to the bottom of your pick team page, and you can also find deadline details there as well. And that's a complete walkthrough of how to play Fantasy Premier League, whether you're new to the game or just needed a refresher. I hope this guide helped you simplify things. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel for more FPL tips and updates throughout the season, and drop a comment if you have any questions or you just want to share your Game Week 1 squad. Your support helps the channel grow and keep content coming. Good luck this season, and let's get some points.